completely blown away. I have lived in Las Vegas for 30 years, and I have always gone to church. Never in my life have I seen a church like this. So ignited, so motivated, so involved. You guys have a courageous and brave pastor. And I have always said, and I've called on all pastors in this valley to unite, to get together, get your churches, congregations involved, because we're at the brink of losing our country. We all know this, right? Yeah. So I hope, and there's a handful of other churches and pastors in this valley that are involved politically, and I believe that all should be involved politically. And if we rally together and united together, can you imagine what that Christian movement would look like? There is power in numbers. We have the numbers. Yeah. Do you remember a couple of election cycles ago, and the last one, how many Christians sat home and didn't vote? Oh, yeah. Millions. Millions. Can you imagine if all of those millions got together and we voted together in one voice, all together? It would be incredible. We would move mountains in this country. I got involved, speaking of COVID, I got involved in politics neck deep back in COVID. I couldn't stand the fact that they were muzzling us and our kids. I couldn't stand the fact they closed our churches and our schools. They wanted to put a jab in your arm in order for you to keep a job. Everything about that was un-American and unconstitutional, right? Amen. So I thought to myself, all right, what are you going to do about it? We can sit here behind the keyboard and we can all do social media and complain to all of our friends. But sitting there and doing that does nothing. Right. Now we see all of the things they're doing to our kids, right? They're teaching our little ones this cultural ideology and shoving it down their throats. And it's wrong. That's right. These little kids, they're having drag queen story hour for 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds in our libraries on the taxpayer dime. They are teaching these kids man can have babies. They're marginalizing women, us, that had kids and went through childbirth. I am highly offended at that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Ladies?
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
So they're calling us birthing persons. Anything they can do against us and our kids. So I got involved. And God gives all of us gifts, talents, and He gives us a purpose in our life, right?
Yes.
Every single person in this room has gifts and talents that God gave you. And every single person in this room has a purpose.
Yes.
So God gave me a servant's heart. I have served in many capacities. I have been 30 years in the real estate business in the city. I have served my clients, and I also started a nonprofit a couple years ago. And I've been involved in children's charities and nonprofits for decades. My heart is to serve. I have a heart of empathy. So, and God gave me a little extra skin too. He made me extra tough. And He gave me courage. So I'm going to use all of these skills, all of these gifts and these talents. And I'm going to run. I'm running for office. I'm running for the United States Senate seat.
Amen.
So let's go.
We need a warrior in that seat.
That's right. Amen.
We need a child of God
Amen.
in that
Right.
seat. And we need somebody who is not going to forsake our party. Once they get to Washington, they forget about us. They forget about we the people, right? They sell us down the river, and all of a sudden, being a Republican and having American values, that doesn't mean anything anymore. So the thing that my clients say most about me is that I'm trustworthy. And people ask me, why should I vote for you? You've never held office? You've never run a campaign before? None. There you go.
Amen. You got it.
Right. I'm not owned by anybody.
Amen.
By our Almighty. Anything, what means something to me is actually representing we the people here in Nevada for the right reasons.
That's right.
Yes.
We have got to save our kids. If we do not stand up for our kids, and I need to go back, speaking of the kids, the trafficking in this
Right,
country.
right.
It is absolutely run out of control. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And the charities that I have worked with, volunteered for, given money to over these decades, rescue trafficked kids. The funding that they have in this country to fight that is 12 to 13 million. That's it. 12 to 13 million against a multi-billion-dollar industry. We have a border that's wide open, that's facilitating all of this. So I plan to do a whole lot about that and put a task force together with proper funding and resources so we can make effective change and stop this sex trafficking. And Nevada is #1 on the list for that too.
Right.
So we have a 2-tier justice system. We have corruption in the government. I mean, there's a laundry list of things, right, that we need to change. So we just start one at a time. But we need to get the right person in there. And the first question you ask yourself, can I trust this politician? Is this politician going to sell me out? Are they going to forsake the name? And are they going to sell us down the river? If you can answer and say to yourself, I trust this person, I think she is a person of her word, she's going to keep her word once she gets to Washington, then you vote for me. And I would appreciate your support. I have information out front. You can grab my cards, contact information. My cell phone number is on there. My email address. You can call me personally, connect with me. And I answer my phone. And I will call you back. So when I got the note from Hondo on Twitter asking me to come visit, I was so honored. And I'm so glad to speak to churches. And I'm so glad to see that there is somebody standing up for the right things in this country, because it's time we engage. We have sat on the sidelines way too long. Christians need to get engaged, and I love this, and this is the time. 24 is the election.
Amen.
My name is Stephanie Phillips, and I'm running for United States Senate.
Hoorah!